Yo, what's good, YouTube? Zamcrow here, back with the ICBA D League Season 2, Week number 1, and we're taking on, um, actually, we're taking on the Slovenia Slowbros. Uh, Correct me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Anyways, we are a coach of the Blackmont Rye Cougars, and our team is as follows: Dragonite, Suicune, Halucha, Crocodile, Alola Marowak, Bronzong, Magearna, Cryogonal, Licky Licky, Tauros, and Zapdos, where Magearna, Dragonite, and Crocodile are potential Z-move users, and our opponent has Zygarde 50%, Nihilego, Alakazam, Tapu Fini, Chandelure, Chestnut, Fortress, Smeargle, Raichu, Regias, and Mega Pidgeot, where Zygarde, Nihilego, and Tapu Fini are Z-move users. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, actually. Anyways, our opponent has quite the squad. Excuse me. And it's like I said, quite the squad. Pretty scary. Has really good like base stats across the board. His entire team does. He has Stealth Rocks, 2 Spikers, and a Toxic Spiker, as well as being able to spin and defog on his own. And he chooses to bring a defogger and a rapid spinner to this match. Which it will be, I'm unsure of. Probably a rapid spinner, as he has the potential to set up Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes with and Spikes with 2 different mons. So he could set up like Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes with Nihilego, or Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes with Fortress, or Stealth Rock and Spike with Fortress and Toxic Spike with Nihilego, and having Rapid Spin on Fortress, as well as being able to spin block with Chandelure, which of course I don't have a spinner. I only have defog on. Actually, I have Cryogonal, which can spin, but I have 2 defoggers, and which of 2 of which, or both of which, I brought to this match, I should say, Zapdos and Dragonite, respectively. Anyways, he also brings Zygarde, 50%, Nihilego, Tapu Fini, I skipped that one, Raichu, Chandelure, and the Fortress. So, like I said, potential for hazard stacks, potential for spamming Volt Switch into things like Banded Zygarde and Choice Specs Nihilego could be problematic for my team. So, I do have the Crocodile to prevent like Volt Switch spam. Unfortunately, I don't have Intimidate to maybe protect myself against Zygarde a little bit, but I do have Moxie, which could potentially come in handy. Say I weaken his team enough, and I can start spamming Earthquake. Looks nice against this team, as Nihilego, Raichu, and Chandelure will all drop to that. And if I can get a Moxie boost from just one of them, and potentially get like a +2 from Moxie boost, then I can probably just sweep his team, depending on his investment on his mons like Zygarde and Tapu Fini, respectively. So, so we bring the Magearna, the Zapdos, the Dragonite, the Crocodile, the Alola Marowak, and the Licky Licky to this match, and I have the Trick Room on Magearna with Calm Mind, Flash Cannon, and Dazzling Gleam. I have max special attack and nearly max HP with a little Spadef to take hits from Nihilego a little bit better, and a minus speed nature with 0 speed IVs, so that after a Trick Room, I am slower than everything on his team. So, basically, what this lets me do is once Fortress and Chandelure is beat down a little bit, I could potentially set up a Trick Room and knock something out, or him sack something to Stealth Rock or something like that, and then I would be Magearna behind Trick Room, and really just put in work, because Dazzling Gleam's doing a lot to a non-bulky Raichu, Flash Cannon's doing a lot to Nihilego, and if I get like a Soul Heart boost or need to, I can Calm Mind up on a Tapu Fini that doesn't have Taunt, and Zygarde drops to a Dazzling Gleam. And like I said, this thing can come in on Nihilego pretty well. I do have wish support, so I can come in on Nihilego multiple times as long as I have Licky Licky in the back to always wish up. Zapdos is a 2 attacks. I want to say 2 attack, Roost and Defog with Thunderbolt and Hidden Power Ice. And I thought about bringing Heat Wave for the Fortress, but I really didn't want to waste waste a move slot on Zapdos for 1 mon when Defog could be really nice if he was to hazard stack. So yeah, Thunderbolt hits everything except the Raichu, which Hidden Power hits, and also hits the Zygarde, which is immune to Thunderbolt. Roost for longevity. I'm speed creeping Tapu Fini so that I'm always faster, can always roost up or defog on it unless it's Choice Scarf, of course. But then if it is, it's not doing that much damage. I am nearly max HP with a defense boosting nature and a little bit of SPDF investment, so I'm pretty bulky all the way around the spectrum, and can take hits from Nihilego from full. I can take a Power Gem from full. I can take Thunderbolts from Raichu from full. I can take 1,000 arrows from Zygarde from full if I'm roosted. So, like, if I roost up and I'm grounded, I can still take 1,000 arrows from a banded Zygarde. Unless he gets, like, a crit. Maybe if he gets maybe it's a roll. I might need to check my calcs on that. Don't take my word on that yet. Next up, we have a Dragon Dance Dragonite with Fly and the Flyinium Z. So I have the Supersonic Sky Strike, Earthquake, and Roost. So I was going to put like Dragon Spam on here, but he has the Misty Terrain, so I really didn't want to bring any kind of Dragon move. It would get weakened anyway. So I decided to slap Roost on there in case he has like Chandelier locked into something that's not doing much damage to me. If Fortress didn't have something like Gyro Ball, or if it was didn't have anything to hit me with, like outside of setting up spikes and maybe like Earthquake or Volt Switch or something like that, depending on its coverage, then Dragonite could just set up on that and spam Fly eventually. Supersonic Sky Strike allows me to do massive amounts of damage, where Earthquake allows me to hit everything that resists Fly, like Nihilego and the Raichu, which he brings both, which is nice, since I do pack the Earthquake. It makes me feel like it wasn't for nothing. So yeah, Dragonite is, I'm pretty sure I'm Adamant Nature. Didn't mind Speed Time with Chandelier or not, because he can't Oko me in one hit regardless. If he does Will-O-Wisp me, then that could be problematic, but that's something I can scout for during the game. So next up is a Choice Scarfed Stealth Rock Crocodile with Knockoff, Pursuit, and Earthquake, and basically has enough speed to outspeed the Mega Pidgeot, which he doesn't bring, and everything that's not Choice Scarf on his team will be outsped as well. So my last 2 months are Alola Marowak and Licky Licky. Like I said, Licky Licky is just there for wish support. Has Ice Beam and Earthquake for Zygarde and Nihilego respectively. I can also hit Chandelier and Raichu with the Earthquake, which is nice. And has Wish Protect. Has enough HP to live a +1 1,000 arrows from Zygarde, as well as being able to eat up Specs hits from Nihilego. Can come in on rocks, take a Specs hit, click Protect, and then be out of range of the following Specs hit. And Alola Marowak, last but not least, we have the 4 attacks Alola Marowak with Shadow Bone, Fire Punch, or Flare Blitz. One of the two, I'm not sure which. We'll figure that out in the game if I click it. And Earthquake and Thunder Punch for the Tapu Fini. So yeah, it's really nice. If I can get a late game Trick Room up with Magearna, then Marowak could potentially finish the game for me, which would be awesome. So let's go ahead and hop into the battle here. I'm going to lead with Crocodile, not really minding what he wants to lead with, but he leads with the Zygarde. So I wanted to go ahead and say that he's probably like a choice band set. So I switch right into my Licky Licky, and it reveals to be a choice band set. I did not have the Intimidate, so I had to switch right out there, and didn't really mind my rocks there. Didn't want him to go for a Z move either. So so I go ahead and switch out to my Licky Licky. He reveals the choice band, as I'm just going to throw off a wish here. And I can protect here, or I can just switch out. So I'm just going to switch out knowing that whatever he does, I could get my wish back. And he goes in, he goes for the Calm Mind as I go into my Zapdos. And I'm going to fire off the Thunderbolt as he goes into the Raichu, gets the special attack boost. As I switch into my Crocodile, he doubles into his Zygarde, which is a really nice play. Goes for the 1,000 arrows after I knock his choice band off, so it doesn't do nearly as much as it was, or would have. And now is not doing nearly as much as it was to my Licky Licky, and I can throw off my wish here, get my wish back. I should have probably stayed in there and got my wish back, but in case he went for rocks there, I wanted to hard switch into my Alola Marowak and force it out and just go for the Shadow Bone here. I get a critical hit. Not really going to matter in the, long term battle, but still important to note. Well, I was going to say something, but it's not really relevant. And I'm going to double out into my Licky Licky here, predicting his Raichu to come back in. And I know I can wish up on this thing, and then click Earthquake on the following turn. And I think I clicked Earthquake there, just because I knew I could live any one hit. So now he goes for the Thunder Punch, as I'm going to set up my Stealth Rocks. And now he's going to go for the sub, trying to get lower HP. He was hoping that I would break his sub and then he could sub up again, because he packs the Reversal, which is a really nice tech. And Thunder Punch isn't doing much to me, but it gets the para as I go for the Earthquake. I get a crit, that didn't matter. And I'm going to go for the Earthquake repetitively here, because I can't let this thing get like a free sub up. And I'm going to try to catch him eventually on the switch there, but unfortunately I get, paralyzed, fully paralyzed there, which is probably like the story of my life lately. It's getting fully paralyzed, and he goes for the sub here and leaves himself on 1%. I'm going to go out into my Marowak and get my wish back as he goes for the Reversal. And I knew he couldn't hit me, and I know Thunder Punch isn't going to be able to 2-hit KO me, even after the toxic damage. So I'm going to be able to go out into my little Marowak here and break his sub and then knock him out. So, yeah, that's nice. So he brings in his Nihilego here, and I know he can get a Beast Boost here, and I don't want that to happen. He goes for the Hidden Power, probably Ground, potentially Fire, probably Ground, since it makes more sense to hit my Alola Marowak and my Magearna. But yeah, now I'm using Chandelier as setup bait, but I don't want to be burned here, so I'm actually going to go ahead and click Earthquake, and it's going to knock out the Tapu Fini. And he brings in the Nihilego here, and at this point I'm thinking, it doesn't make that much sense against my team, but he could be Choice Scarf there, and I had to switch out, go into my Magearna, and I had to go for Flash Cannon as he brings in his Fortress. Not the worst case scenario, could be worse. Yeah, could always be worse. He goes for the Rapid Spin as I switch out into my Zapdos. And I'm just going to go hard for the Thunderbolt. I think he predicted Heat Wave there, and he goes into his Nihilego and gets bopped with the Thunderbolt. Here he goes for the Power Gem, revealing that he's not like any kind of boosting item. And I can just go for Wish here. But of course I get fully paralyzed, and it's not going to work out for him. I'm going to hard switch out into Zapdos here, because I know that he's either going to set up Stealth Rocks or he's going to click an attack to make sure that a lot of Marowak can't come in for free. But I was so low that it wouldn't have mattered. I couldn't come in for free because I would have died to toxic damage on the switch in. So here I get Zygarde pretty weakened, and then sack off my Alola Marowak to make sure that Zygarde can't knock out my Zapdos and can't like do anything, what's the word, cheeky? Is that the word? I could have Pursuit Trapped him there and got rid of the Zygarde problem, but decided not to and sacked off my Alola Marowak. Or I sacked off my Alola Marowak and then could have Pursuit Trapped him and decided not to as he switched out. He didn't really have an Earthquake switch in, so had I got a Moxie Boost there, I would have been in a prime position. So he brings in his Zygarde here, reveals the rest. As I'm going to go for the hidden power again to make sure this thing, dies or something. And here he could have rest talk, but his chances are slim to none on, well, I mean, it's actually like a 33% chance on getting 1,000 arrows again. And that we could have been speed tied. So that's noteworthy in my opinion. He still can't knock me out, so I'm going to switch out here and double out into my Magearna. It gained me nothing except preventing the Beast Boost. I could not let him get a Beast Boost there. So I had to stop that at all cost. Here things are getting tricky. If the Nihilego is Choice Scarfed, then things are looking rough actually. I don't think it is. I don't think it is Choice Scarfed. Because he needs to be able to switch his moves up versus me. But it could be. So here I'm going to go into Zapdos. I know I'm faster because he's not Choice Scarfed. And I can guarantee break his sub. And then potentially win with Earthquake Spam with Crocodile. But he hard switches out even though he was behind the sub. And now here is the moment of truth. Is my opponent Choice Scarfed or not? If he is, like I said, he could potentially win this game, especially after another round of spikes and a Beast Boost. He would be in a really good position. But like I said, choice locked Nihilego isn't that great against my team. So I was really, really scared here. I really didn't know if he was going to bring this set. And I take the spikes damage and Pursuit Trap in case he switches out, and he reveals to not be Choice Scarfed as he stays in. So I'm going to hard switch out here knowing that at this point I can use Earthquake Spam from Crocodile to win the match. And not like I figured he would go for the Gyro Ball or double out into Chandelier, and I couldn't let this thing come back in and get a sub up or I lose. So I'm just going to go ahead and click the Earthquake twice, I believe. Or, yeah, I would have clicked it twice, but he switches out, so I'm just going to go for the Supersonic Sky Strike, and because Earthquake doesn't knock out Fortress from there, but it knocks out this thing from here. So I didn't need my Sky Strike for the Chandelier, and we're going to be able to pick up the win 3-0 with our, with the use of our, actually, the 3 mons that survived are Z eligible. That's pretty hype. So really, really tight game. Come down to the wire. He brought the extra heat Alolan. I mean not Alolan, but the Raichu. Extra heat with the sub encore Thunder Punch reversal set. That was pretty hype. And he wasn't Choice Scarf Nihilego, so really awesome for us. And Dragonite's going to be able to pull out the win there with 3 KOs this match. So shout outs to Dragonite. Awesome game. Good game again to my dude, Maralt. Coach of the, Slovenia Slowbros. And we're going to move on to 1-0 going into week 2. So look out for week 2. Should be out next Saturday. And I'll see you guys then. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. And I thank you for watching.